Welcome to 8-Bit Orc, where today we're looking at the top 10 games that I'm looking forward to in this coming year, 2022. First up, and one of the games I'm looking most forward to, we have Elden Ring. This game is from the creators of Dark Souls, with writing by George R.R. Martin, you know, the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. FromSoft is bringing us to a new world with this series, however the style and setting are very reminiscent of Dark Souls games of the past. So if you're up for fighting some new grotesque enemy types, as well as dragons, this might be a game for you. There's an abundance of live gameplay footage available for anyone who's still on the fence about this game, but from what I've seen, this is going to be a must-buy. Elden Ring is releasing very soon on February 25th for both last-gen and current-gen hardware on Xbox and PlayStation, as well as on PC, so pretty much everyone should be able to play this game. Sorry, no Switch release. Next up, we have the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017 from Guerrilla Games, with Horizon Forbidden West. This game was planned to be released last year, within the PlayStation 5's launch window, but it was delayed. Hopefully this means we'll get a well-polished game we've come to expect from Sony Studio exclusives. Fighting for survival in a world filled with wondrous mechanical dinosaurs has been amazing fun in the original. If you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, I would highly recommend giving it a try before this sequel, as it's totally worth your time. This game adds many interesting and amazing creatures throughout the world, as well as human tribes that you'll be able to interact with. It also has some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever laid eyes on. These guys are true artists. I can't wait to play Horizon Forbidden West, and thankfully we won't have to wait long when it releases on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on February 18th. Warhammer 3 from the Total War series is another game coming out in February that I can't wait to play. It looks like February is going to be a busy month, which is nice to see as we often have a lull this time of year for new games. This strategy game has you controlling huge armies from one of 8 different factions from the tabletop Warhammer series. You can have all the fun without all that painting. This game really is going for a grand scale, but it looks impressive even when you zoom into the battles. Another amazing thing is that this game is coming to Game Pass for PC, so it won't cost you anything extra if you're already a Game Pass subscriber. One of the modes that has me most excited is this up to 8-player domination multiplayer mode, where players can blind pick their faction and choose a small starting army, as well as a larger reinforcing army that can be deployed as you collect resources. This allows you to strategically deploy units in order to counter an enemy, rather than having an automatic loss due to picking the wrong units off the bat. Well, a better chance at least. I can't wait to dive into the action when it's released on PC, Linux, and even Mac OS on February 17th. Next up, we have a racing game from an iconic series with Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo has a long history of being some of the best racing games on any platform, with an attention to detail that has unfortunately contributed to long droughts between releases. In fact, it's been over 9 years on the PlayStation 3 since we saw the last numbered release of a Gran Turismo game. There was the release of Gran Turismo Sport on the PlayStation 4 in 2017, which focused on online racing. However, the scale of the game wasn't up to snuff with what I would consider a proper Gran Turismo game, hence not even being recognized as a numbered sequel. With some stiff competition from the Forza series, I'm hoping Polyphony Digital will meet the challenge and bring out their best racing game yet. We're talking about over 400 cars and tracks from 34 locations around the world in the base game, with more to come via DLC. You have a huge amount of customization options, and even a car museum, where you can go learn about the history of car designers and manufacturers. These features might not be for everyone, but it's great news for all the car geeks out there. Gran Turismo 7 is coming on March 4th to the PlayStation 5, as well as a last-gen version available on the PlayStation 4.
Who's ready to rickety roleplay? Spoiler? It's you, baby.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a spin-off from the Borderlands series from Gearbox Entertainment. This looter shooter incorporates many aspects of Dungeons & Dragons inspired worlds with a twist. Guns. Lots of guns. Combine this with spells and crazy abilities, and this medieval inspired world makes for an exciting combination. This game really doesn't take itself too seriously, allowing for Gearbox's crazy sense of humor to come out on full display. They've also hired a skilled team of voice actors to narrate throughout. With a variety of classes to choose from and hordes of loot to collect, these guys make some of the best co-op first-person shooters around. You will be able to get your hands on Tiny Tina's Wonderland on March 25th on the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. First announced way back in 2018, Starfield is a long-anticipated game and the first new IP from Bethesda Game Studios in 25 years. The makers of large open-world games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls. This game aims for a grand new scale in giving players the ability to explore a galaxy, spanning 50 light-years of settled systems. This game seems very ambitious from what I've seen so far. One thing I find concerning is there's been very little gameplay footage shown so far, and we're getting pretty close to release. Bethesda has said this will be an open world, well I guess open universe RPG, but I'm yet to really get a sense for what this gameplay is going to be like. Having been burned by Bethesda before, with games like Fallout 76, I do have some reservations about the grand claims of this game. I really am hoping we don't have a repeat of what we saw with No Man's Sky. It really is hard to create an entire universe you can explore. I'm trying to stay optimistic, and I hope this game is everything Todd Howard is building it up to be. Starfield is another game coming day one to Game Pass, on your Xbox Series X or S, as well as on PC on November 11th. Stalker 2 is a game that I've been waiting entirely too long for, with the original Stalker being released in 2007 and the last follow-up coming in 2009. Stalker 2 is a gorgeous looking first-person shooter. This game's gritty, post-apocalyptic atmosphere is a sight to behold. This takes place in an alternative world's Chernobyl exclusion zone, where some unexpected transformations are causing mutations to wildlife and anyone who's exposed to the radiation. These games have been quite a thrill to play, and have some great storytelling, so honestly, I've been doing my best not to spoil as much of this game as I can for myself. You'll be able to play Stalker 2 on Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC, and also free day one on Game Pass on December 8th. Next up, we have another Xbox console exclusive with Hellblade 2. It's looking like 2022 is going to be a great year for Xbox. I find myself infatuated with this game since I first saw the trailer during the Video Game Awards, where they announced this game alongside the release of the new Xbox series of consoles. I'm starting to feel like such a sucker for pretty graphics at this point, but I must say it's a wonderful marketing tactic. This game simply looks amazing. You have facial animations in a world that looks eerily close to reality. It looks so good, in fact, that the latest trailer that claimed to be in-game graphics have many people, including myself, finding that hard to believe. I'm really hoping we don't have another Killzone 2 on our hands, which showed off some unbelievable graphics on the PlayStation 3 that turned out to be too good to be true. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the game's developer, Ninja Theory, can pull this one off. We haven't been given an exact date on this game, but we can expect it for the Xbox series of consoles, as well as PC, and a day one release on Game Pass for this coming holiday season. You know, it's such a festive game. Next up, we have the only Switch game that made my list with Breath of the Wild 2. Zelda could get me excited with any release. With the follow-up to one of the best games ever made with the original Breath of the Wild, this one has got me pumped. Breath of the Wild took a whole new direction with its open world where you can travel nearly anywhere with unparalleled freedom. This world was full of things to do and the ability to interact with nearly everything, and go nearly anywhere with the ability to climb even to the peaks of mountains. I can't wait to see what the wonderful minds at Nintendo come up with next. They've remained tight-lipped about the details in this game, but we do know we pick up where we left off from the original Breath of the Wild. This game has only given us a release window, and honestly I won't be surprised if it ends up getting delayed into next year. However, it's currently confirmed to be released before the end of 2022, of course exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. The last on my list, and certainly not the least, we have God of War Ragnarok. This game is the sequel to my favorite PlayStation game of all time, a list of which you can find right here. I'm excited to continue the story of Kratos and his boy as they wipe out another pantheon of gods. Santa Monica Studios have proven track record. I'm anticipating some of the best graphics, gameplay, and storytelling that can be found anywhere in gaming. In this game, you'll be able to travel to all 9 Norse realms. Arturus has grown up a little bit, so it should be more useful, I hope. Ragnarok is also touting to have a larger enemy variety, which is nice, as it was one of the weaknesses of the original.
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
We do not know what Mother wanted.
One thing I'm looking forward to is Thor and his big round belly. This really did stir up a lot more controversy than I could have ever imagined, but I actually really like the new look though. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. This game has also been confirmed to be completing the storyline. It's a bit sad that it won't be a trilogy, but it's nice to have some satisfaction coming so soon. God of War Ragnarok has no official release date beyond the year 2022. I would expect it to come in November if I had to bet, but really anyone's guess is as good as mine. Hopefully we'll know more about this soon. It'll be releasing on PlayStation 5 as well as PlayStation 4. So don't be worried if you haven't had a chance to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 yet.
You a calm and reasonable person.
Well, there it is, the 10 games I'm looking most forward to in the coming year, 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video and will take the time to like and subscribe. And please let me know what your favorite games coming up this year are in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.